know what I mean? Like, so the Amanda
Geiger or Amber Geiger?
difference. I wasn't expecting that, honestly.
Yeah.
But and I haven't been following it intently, but I was surprised that they even got her. But if you look at it, and I you know, I watch other podcasts on, you know, I don't know if I could mention the other ones, right? But the way that they treated her, like after like the stroking of her hair and the hugs, and I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought one thing I was disappointed about with that. I saw a couple of days later, somebody posted a picture of the judge and the chief of police, and they were trying to say that there was some type of conspiracy going on because they're both part of the same sorority. And what disappointed me was it was a black person that was saying it. And I'm like, I'm Greek. Like, I'm a part of Greek life. So I can be in a room with a million other Sigmas and we might take a picture. That don't mean, like, we plotting against nobody. We just happen to be in the same fraternity. And I just thought it assumed a lot about the relationship because you saw the two of them take a picture.
Well, you know, we are a nation of conspiracy theorists, right? Like, oh, Dre just drank that water. That means he Illuminati. Look how he held the bottle.
I am too. I'm so Illuminati, it's not even funny.
Look how he put the top on and
all
placed
day.
it asymmetrical on the table.
I got all the secrets, and I ain't telling nobody.
And then they gonna take a picture, draw a diagram to see how it's strategically placed.
Right.
To send a message.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mute the mics, and when you guys hear the music playing in the headphones, before I give the thumbs up, we're live. So go to the Gray Area Media like page. You got that video at the top. Go to the like page, and then
What's on Facebook?
Yeah. And then when it's live, we're gonna share that live feed. That way, your people ain't calling you in the middle of it saying, "I don't see where you at." They can just go to your page and it's on there.
Yeah, I told my partner, make sure he's ready. So once it goes up, you want us to share it, right?
Yes.
All right.
Gray Area News.
Media.
Gray Area Media. The Gray Area Media. And it has a video at the top.
Shout out to Patrick too, man. He got me this water. I told him I didn't want none.
What did he say? That's pretty funny, man.
Does it take you to YouTube?
How do I mean, where did the live pop up at?
He's
No. It's on Facebook. No, it
It
should.
took me to YouTube.
Nah, it should be only on Facebook. Well, we're on
I got
YouTube
it.
too. We're on YouTube too.
You said so when you start the music, hit like.
Share the live feed because it's gonna give you a notification and you're gonna see us. Then share that feed to Facebook.
Not 17 though.
Extra bar.
Be offbeat.
So if I back out after I share it and go to mine to go live, it won't.
You can do that.
Okay.
You can do that.
I'm getting real fancy. I don't know nothing about it.
I heard it. Share, go to mine. Super
He
quick.
said it's simple.
No magic here, bro.
We're live on YouTube, so we're gonna go live.
Hey man, I'm gonna hear y'all. I ain't gonna be here. I'm gonna be the
Oh,
only
you
one
alright,
there.
bro? You alright?
You good to go, bro.
Because you in here with us, so we
don't even
can
need
hear
them on,
each
bro.
other.
That got me feeling special as hell.
You are watching you be in.
Got me feel like that dude from
You black niggas now.
radio.
Sponsored by
Let me see that.
Palmville, Castleton,
Let me see that remote right there.
Post Road.
I just want to prop my phone up tight. Boom. So it
Dre
don't
is the
slide.
executive director of You Black Niggas Network.
Boom. Here it is.
That could be a thing, though.
All right, we're live. So refresh the page on Facebook.
You like that chop, Dre? That little chop.
Share it.
I'm trying to figure out how to do it.
All right, I got you if you don't know.
Yeah, do it. I think I already did it though.
Good. Yeah.
I didn't share it yet, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's it. Got you. Right there.
We go right here.
All right, you good. Now
This is
you can
this
go
is the
live.
checkoff hour. DJ Easy.
So now I can go to my page.
Yes.
So you already shared it?
Yep.
I'm gonna share it again.
We on the plug right now, trying to maintain, get the music and everything going. 106.7. WTLC. I'm just playing. Just make that up. Let me shut up. I'm just playing. I quit.
David
This is the checkoff
Last
hour.
name.
DJ Easy.
Barnes.
Bars. BRS. Bars.
Like candy.
Candy bar.
Oh, Candy
With an
Bars.
S at the end.
Okay. Okay.
Bars.
Dre, what's your last name?
The
What's your
actor.
last name? I know that, but I just want to make sure.
Two
Hey,
Dre's.
when you
Two
think of
Dre's.
Benjamins, think of
Dre
Franklin.
I'm
all
just
want to
the
know.
actor. Dre the actor.
You just want Dre the actor?
Just
Because I
type.
use the government. On
Yeah,
Well,
no.
well, you can just call me David Dre Head Smooth. Don't care.
Man, you can't be
Yeah, that's a big ass name. I ain't
can't
gonna
use the
tell.
government, boy. Niggas in here owe taxes.
I can't carry it away.
She at the door. Well, can I grab it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just Dre Head Smooth.
They
Don't care.
live?
Yeah, it's live right now, but we got about 16.
Oh, you
people.
good, man?
See, you-
Man, I ain't got my
Go
head.
get
Go get the food.
All right, we up to 20 now.
apparently I started a watch party. So there we go.
Hello, Facebook. We are live right
Check
now.
out
This
DJ
is the
Easy.
gray area. And this is your boy Ray E.
This your boy P. Wills. What's up? What's
Cutting up
up?
already, man. Golly, cutting up.
But Dre got me in here, man,
Yeah.
cutting up, man.
Oh, hey, my
Is there a chair? over there?
Do.
If you grab a chair,
How you doing?
pull a chair in there real quick.
How you doing? All
Yeah,
right.
pull a chair in there real quick. Yes. We are live right now, you guys, and we have a great show today. A few weeks ago, we had a show about motivation, how to be motivated, how to motivate yourself. This week, we're going to talk about how to invest in yourself, which is like we was talking about this in the lobby in there. It's the hidden secret, right?
Hey, man, time out, bro.
A lot of people just see the greatness.
I'm sorry, bro. Hey, man, this might be a first, man. My man ain't got a chair. What's up, man? What's your chair at, bro? Oh.
I'm good. Standing room only in the gray area. Standing room only.
No, man. We got
Dog, big your chair, man. Look, dog, you're not DMX, man, in here, bro.
Welcome to the
a
family.
chair.
What's your chair at, man?
I got a chair.
Oh, you got a chair?
I'll
Yeah.
get it. I'll get it. I got it.
Okay.
We're good to go.
right,
I'm
we
just
good.
trying to get my wild up. That's all I want to do is
Hilarious.
go live.
But we're
Hilarious.
talking about how to invest in yourself. And we have some very special guests here who are going to help us in that conversation. We're going to talk about a lot of other stuff, too. We got to talk about the Botham Jean trial. I think a lot of stuff is happening there. Tyler Perry just got a new studio. That's
Shout out
heavy.
to Tyler
That's-
Perry, man.
That's
Shout out to
fire.
Tyler Perry. You got to clap for Tyler Perry, brother.
That's real heavy right
That's
there.
dope
So we
right
got to
there.
discuss that black excellence. It's a lot of people don't do that, and he's seen a problem, and he became a problem solver for Black Hollywood. So, but we got Dre the actor in the building. He just stepped out for a minute, but he's coming back. We got Dre the actor, my man
And see-
Andre Franklin.
What's up, everybody?
Dre was like,
We
I'm
got
an
my
actor
man
now.
David Pearson,
Yo.
and then my man David Bars.
Every bars.
You can't
Right
spell the
there.
bars without R's.
Yeah, you gotta have.
You know what I mean? You can't spell the bars without R's.
Yeah. Right
All
on.
right,
Bars.
Dre's getting it together. He's
I mean, hitting the doorstop and everything.
Oh man,
Ready.
Hey man, this dude right here got a crazy jump
Crazy
shot.
actor,
Hey bro,
get that
hey man, that dude right there, man, he can shoot the ball, bro.
We just got done hooping earlier today, man. He embarrassed the hell out of me.
Oh, wow.
Hurt my feelings on
He
the
can shoot,
accident.
boy.
He can hoop. He was
Who?
on live talking
He can
crazy
shoot.
about shooters the other day.
man, I can't hoop, bro. I don't.
He can shoot that
I
ball
don't
though.
hoop, bro. I'm just a regular guy doing regular things with regular headphones.
You good now, man?
Man, we are good to go, man.
All right.
Man, my manager is horrible, son. Absolutely horrible.
Okay, so check this out. We have to learn how to invest in ourselves first. a lot of people see the success. They want to get to the end goal. They see the greatness. And people, oh man, dude got a Lambo, man. I'm trying to get that too. A lot of people don't understand that if you really wanted to walk into somebody else's shoes, you might not like it. A lot of people's road to success was real heavy.
Say that again.
You know what I'm saying? So what we're gonna talk about is investing in yourself. And Dre, I want to start with you, man, because we've had some of these conversations.
Yeah.
Andre, I'm sorry. We've had some of these conversations regarding investing in yourself, and then you guys feel free to chime in because this is a conversation that we have to have amongst ourselves and for the viewers that are tuning in. So what are some of the qualities to investing in yourself, and tell people why that's important?
Yeah, man. I think in terms of qualities, I would say perseverance and a willingness to fail. I think Michael Jordan talked about like the number of free throws or shots that he missed. And how it was just this astronomical number of shots that he missed.
It's like 9,000.
Yeah, it's just a ridiculous number of shots that he missed. And I don't think, to your point earlier, we talk enough about that part of the process, right? There is so much you have to mess up before you actually figure out a formula that's going to work for you.
Right.
And the formula that works for you is the precursor to your success, right? So a lot of people we were talking about earlier, they try to figure out, well, what are the right steps for me to do, or where should I start? And my big thing is we spend way too much time trying to figure out the right place, as opposed to how do I just get started, and I'm going to learn as I go, because you're not going to know everything day one. Even if you've got a great mentor, there's some stuff you got to experience. There's some scar tissue you got to build up on your own, right?
Say that
and
again, bro.
there's some scar tissue you got to build up, right? So the sooner you get on the path and just start trying in the area where you want to be successful, that's what's going to help you. That's what's actually going to help you sustain. And I think that's probably one of the first things I would say in terms of qualities is just the willingness to get started and get it wrong.
For sure. And Dre, now, I've been knowing you for a minute, bro. Go back all the way to traveling in the church league.
Yeah.
Now, and at that time, you was a funny dude. He was a funny guy.
He said at that time, like you're not funny now, though.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no. At the time, he was funny, but I never looked at it like he would be this great actor and comedian that we see today. Because what you're doing today on a scale, you're doing movies, you're involved in a lot of different things and hosting events. And tell us, like, how did you invest in yourself? At what point did you decide that, you know what, I'm really gonna take this serious, and what did it take?
So before I do that, I want to thank y'all for having me.
For sure.
Man, appreciate you coming,
This is
brother.
number 2.
Yeah,
appreciate
for
you
sure.
coming, dog.
Ooh, double dose of gray hair.
Yes, sir.
I just want to thank you for having me. Secondly, before I get into my answer, I want to shout out everybody who puts on the production. So I'm just Dre the actor. It's not Dre the producer, not Dre the writer, not Dre the stage hands. So without those people, I don't exist, right? So, I'm just a guy who just wants to act something out. So those people are very important. As far as the question goes, when did it hit me actually on the church ride. So we was coming back from a hard loss, and I had lost my temper that game, and I realized, I said, you know what, I've got to do something that's gonna make me happy, because basketball was upsetting me more than it was giving me peace, right? So I'm like, all right, well, let me use this talent over here to make me happy, to make others happy, and things like that. So, in doing comedy and acting, I've kicked over a lot less trash cans than I did when I was hooping. When I was hooping, it was trash cans, coolers, anything knockdownable. I was going after that.
Knockdownable.
Yeah, anything knockdownable. So investing in myself came from me on the ride home. Sometimes, man, you got to take that. It takes L's to accept victory.
For sure.
If you don't lose, how do you know you're winning?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So it took me to lose and lose and lose, and like you said, I wanted to go in this direction, so I had to get off of this. My hoop dreams were over when I stopped growing. At 5'7", I capped out at basketball. There it is. However, my words, they don't cap out. So everybody, I can touch everybody with my words. So investing in myself came from, like I said, after a church game. I kind of think it was God. It was God saying, hey, bro, we're not going to get any better. This is what you have. But we can use this over here to get even further in life. So
Sure.
That's dope.
Good, man. It's good. David.
Sir.
So tell us what your thoughts are on that. Investing in yourself.
I think there was a lot of valid points made, man. And that is a lost conversation within our community.
Sure.
I mean, like, let's just be honest with that. Most people are only looking at instant gratification.
For sure.
And not focusing on delayed gratification.
Right.
And it's imperative if you're going to scale and change the dynamic of your family.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think for me, I really don't remember the defining moment, but I do remember the point where I decided that I needed to change my directory. You know what I mean? Like, I had hit a point in my life where I was at a crossroad, and it was like, if I continue to go this way, it's jails, institutions, and death.
Right.
Like, without any
Sure.
doubt about that.
Yeah.
Or I can go this way, a path that I've never been before, and change my family dynamic.
Right.
As a result of that, I've been able to be, like a place or a person that, my little brother can look to.
Sure.
I have 4 sons. It was imperative for me, man, that my purpose is what drove me.
Right.
Purpose.
Right.
That's huge.
Purpose, bro, to change my family dynamic,
Right.
and put us on a new platform. You know what I mean?
Break cycles.
And break generational cycles
There you
and
go.
curses, right? And so that, and I knew that for me to be able to do that, it was going to take a tremendous amount of investment in myself, and not just from a financial, but from a spiritual perspective, from a mental, emotional health. Right, mental health.
Right.
I ain't got to the physical yet. You know what I mean? I'm still a work in progress in that area. But those were 2 things that I really honed in on and focused on, because I knew if I didn't change my mind or my thinking, I would stay trapped in that same circle.
You said something very important, and David Bars, I'm gonna get to you in a second, but you said something very important, which was like mental. How often do we hide our scars and our mental, the stuff that the losses? How often do we hide the losses and the stuff that really affect us when no one is looking? You know what I'm saying? Especially for African American men, we hoard all kinds of stuff. And usually that comes out in the worst way. So investing in yourself is not only looking at it from being an entrepreneur or trying to be something, it's from taking care of yourself, which we
Mentally,
fail a lot
physically,
to do.
spiritually.
We hate going to the doctor. We hate seeing hospitals. We just so used to getting up and doing stuff. We fail to realize that we have to take care of us too.
So let me ask a real question there, real quick, on this very topic. How many of you have ever been to mental health therapy, like a real counseling session?
I've been to mental health.
I have. It's a beautiful thing, bro. It's a beautiful thing.
Good
Like,
thing.
I've been twice in my life.
Yeah.
The first time I went, literally, I was in Iraq, and they didn't force us to go, but like something that happened on the base we were at, and like my staff sergeant was like, "Hey, when y'all get around to it, I want everybody to go." It was the most awkward and uncomfortable thing for me, because I made sure I didn't say anything. I felt like I was snitching. You know what I mean? Like, no, just real talk. I felt like I was snitching. So I was like, I'm not finna say nothing. I'm finna do as little as I can to get out of here. And then the time I went after that, literally was about 4 weeks ago. And I didn't realize, like, I was experiencing like chest pain and pain in my arm. To where like I changed my diet, I changed where I was I changed all this other stuff. And it literally was, I hadn't talked to anybody about all these things that had happened in my life since I got back from Iraq. And immediately I went in and talked to this woman for an hour and just kind of talked about everything, blah, blah, blah. I felt like literally knots in my head and in my chest were just, they just unwound. And I called my wife immediately, like, I really think I feel better. And slept great, been great ever since. And now, like, okay, I get why people talk about you actually need to go to therapy and get that stuff out.
Because we carry a lot, especially as men, and black men specifically. you know, we don't talk about mental health in our community
Right.
as much as we need
Right.
to.
Right.
And you know, my baby brother Darius Ross, y'all make sure y'all vote for him.
D.
District
Ross.
14.
Shout out to D. Ross.
City councilman this upcoming election. But
Yep.
he talks about that in his platform a lot. Like that is a under not it's not a resource that's readily available in
Right.
communities, and we suffer
then and
from.
there.
Listen, bro, I lost my first friend at 14.
Yeah.
And then the progression after that was significant every year, 2-3 times a year, to the point where I got numb.
Right.
Yeah.
God bless my brother Lamont Day. He lost his son last night, right?
Oh, wow.
So,
Sorry to hear
so
that, man.
you know, I was going hard all day. I get home. I'm at home for 5 minutes, and I get a text. So I shoot up to the hospital, bro, and to see my brother in
Wow.
pain, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're not my biological brother, but
Yeah.
my brother nonetheless.
sure.
You know what I mean? And to lose your, I can't even fathom. I
Yeah, I
got
can't
4
imagine.
sons,
Right.
Yeah.
right? And so we don't talk about how that trauma tears us up as men. Like we just taught to hold that,
Yeah,
man
hold
up,
that.
and
Yeah,
you'll
man,
be all
yeah,
right.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But we need somebody
exactly.
to help us walk through that and process
Exactly.
that, man, so we can continue to
sure.
grow and move on with life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's real.
Exactly,
Sure.
man. So let me ask y'all, man, really quick though. So, what do you think prevents people from opening up like that?
Yeah.
To want to, you know, mentally and emotionally get better.
Yeah, it ain't a part of our community though, right? Like, so I mean, you think about that, like. What
Culture.
happens in your house
Right.
stays in your house. You don't go out on
Pretty much, that's how it goes.
You don't tell nobody nothing about what's going on in our family dynamics,
makes sense.
right? And we've been conditioned to think that way, and it's been to our detriment, in my opinion.
And let's be honest, man. We have a history of an adverse relationship with the healthcare system as a whole,
Period.
right?
Yeah.
You as a black man, the first time somebody told me about the Tuskegee experiment, I'm immediately like, y'all not injecting me with anything ever again.
Right.
Right.
Exactly.
Because there's nothing to convince me that
Right.
this isn't a problem right now,
Right.
right? And you now want me to go in, because I think if we be even more honest, just going back to the mental health piece of it, in order for me to talk to you about my mental health, I got to trust you,
Exactly.
right? Like I have, not,
Yeah.
and never mind the idea that like what I didn't get when I went and actually opened up, I didn't get that I was carrying baggage.
Right.
So the idea that your job is to let me unload my baggage on you,
Yeah.
farthest thing from my mind, didn't make any sense.
Right.
In my head, before that experience, it was, I don't know you,
Right.
right? Why would I tell
And if
you?
I tell you what you're gonna do to me.
Right, and how do I know you not the police?
Right.
Yeah.
Right, and
Right.
you can tell me you have a fiduciary responsibility to not share this information.
Right.
Y'all been flipping on us forever.
Right.
And the rules don't apply the same way when it comes to
Exactly.
us. So
Right.
it's not in my best interest to trust
Right.
you.
Right.
But I'm
I
sorry.
think humility comes before a fall.
Baby bars to get some more in.
You deal with a situation where you live your life when it comes through trust. At the same token, you have to think about it like this. When you go through trust, that means you really trying to let certain people know that if you care about a certain specific person, or if you're going through something in your life, sometimes you need to have somebody to talk to as a mentor or a sponsor. It don't matter what way or any way that sugarcoat or anything, like it doesn't work that way. Just keep it simple and make it make sense, you know, and you converse to somebody of what situation that you have going on in your life. And sometimes you don't want to just keep it balled into yourself, because you have to express it to make sure that you know in your mindset you're not going crazy.
Yeah.
Whatever situation that you're going through, you're not going crazy. So you want somebody that has actually been there and done that. Or if they did or haven't, they can still respond and give you feedback too, to let you know that everything is okay. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna leave that part alone. I'm gonna keep things legitimate on that behalf. But I'm just saying in general, when you go through life, you have to go strong. What things that don't kill you make you stronger regardless.
Amen.
Whether if you wanted to or not. It is what it is, and it was what it was. Keep it moving and keep moving forward. Look at that tunnel like that Mario game. It got that tunnel. When you go make straight forward, you got to see that light. And between that light is that light where you need to seek and keep moving forward on anyway. Don't lose yourself. Don't look behind you. Don't look next to you. Don't look aside of you. Keep moving forward and keep moving straight.
I think
If you lose that vision, that's how you get blindsided. Like like that boxing. You turn around, somebody gonna clock you and TKO you because your attention is somewhere else, to where it needs to be in that ring.
I think mental health is it's in the black community, like we said, it's rarely talked about. It's rarely, but that's just from our upbringing. It's a lot of different upbringings that I wish that before I hit 30 I knew about. Like when I was younger, right? Dad, and this isn't just me. This is just the black community in general. Right. When I was younger, when some of my friends were younger, our dads, our friends' dads would tell us, you know what, you can be the next Michael Jordan, but be the first you, right? Instead of them saying, hey, the guy that writes Michael Jordan's check, be that guy.
Right.
You're right. So it's just little things like that we miss. So in the black community, it's if mama's cooking and she's got friends coming over, y'all better not tell her this is Boston Market macaroni and cheese. Right. Yo, mama, you ain't make that. What? Listen, you know how some of the scars that I do have, not mental, but some of the physical scars that I do have come from mama not making that macaroni and cheese. So
who you was telling that she didn't
hello?
make.
So on that note, we were taught to just be private. I'm gonna tell you what I want you to know.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you what because and then I like to use this word a lot, but it's power.
Right.
We don't want to give up power.
Right.
It's not just us, the black men. It's not just us, the black community. No one wants to give up power in a relationship. Right. Women have gotten done wrong. And so now we done moved on to the next relationship. And you got an honest, good, great guy. This guy, he's never cheated, clean slate. And she doesn't want to let this guy in because now, if I let you in, now you have power. I'm giving you some type of power. Right.
Yeah.
So the word isn't just mental health. It's power. I give you power over up here. What do we always say? I can do anything I put my mind to.
That's right.
We don't never say I can do anything I put my heart to. You know what I mean? It's I can do anything I put my mind to. So if I'm opening up and giving you a piece of my mind, I have then given you some power over me.
Vulnerability.
You know what I mean?
That's a whole sermon, right?
So that's a real thing. It is real.
Sure.
So that's my take on mental health. You know what I mean?
And if I could add some context to that.
Of course.
So how do you shift from where you at mentally now to getting to that mind state, right?
Right.
That's the question.
Right, because there's a lot of people stuck in the root.
Right.
If anybody's familiar with chakras, you got the root and then you got the spiritual area. A lot of people are stuck down here in the emotional level. Yeah. And I started to put something on Facebook. It's like we just jump to emotion.
Yeah.
Like black folks, we just
low emotional
without
IQ.
even doing any research or anything. We just we see what we see and we just boom.
Well, we're spiritual people too, right? So we are embedded with emotion, right? Because it hits our spirit first.
Right. Sure.
I mean,
it's
just
almost
natural.
impulsive.
You know what I mean?
Like
it is.
second
I
nature.
feel it. Gotta go.
Not just that though, but if
yeah.
you're living in the past, your mindset is not going to create itself to go further where it needs to be.
Exactly.
But if you're still thinking back on what could have been or what could have been or haven't been, you're not going to make it nowhere.
Yeah. So the transition from where you are to where you're trying to go in your mental health investment, because that's critical, bro.
Right.
Like that is the piece that people miss most often.
Right.
Because what is going to happen when you hit that barrier that you don't think that you're going to be able to overcome?
Right.
Right.
So
What
let's
is
just
going
say
to happen
that.
when you get knocked down and pushed down 17 times in a row?
So then
Right.
this is my answer to that, right?
Yeah.
This will be my answer.
Okay.
So your question was again. Could you say your question again?
How do you transition from where you are mentally now
Transition.
to getting to the point where you can
Invest in yourself.
invest in
yourself.
And from an emotional, mental mind state, get to a position where, all right, I have power over my thinking now.
So get this. Everybody grab your seat because it's real. Everybody grab your seat because it's real. Every day, us as a people, period, whoever you are, it doesn't matter who you are. I have a non-for-profit. It's called Our People, and that's because no matter what color you are, you my people. I rock with you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I think that it starts when we ourselves, A, trust ourselves, and B, are real with yourself. that is where the transition comes in. Because if I'm real with me, real ain't me keeping it 100. That ain't me. That ain't real.
That's
When somebody be
partial.
like, "Yo, bro, I'm
What is
keeping
real,
it." So real is this. So
What's
real
real?
is real is me understanding things like, "Yo, man, people don't know this, but my father passed when I was younger, right? A lot of people don't know this. So my father passed when I was younger. My sister got murdered when I was younger." And I do comedy. People are like, dude. So the people that do know, like, man, I don't know how you didn't. You ain't, man. I would have. And such and such and such and such. Right.
See.
The real is I had to take myself into my room, into my apartment, shut my door, turn the lights out, and talk to him. God, listen, I'm struggling. Listen, it's me coming to you saying I'm weak. As black people, we're taught to be strong. As black men, we're taught to be strong. We gotta be strong. We gotta be the backbone. We gotta do this. We gotta do that. When you break down, you get to that low point when it's just you.
That's humility.
And you've omitted everything and saying, "Yo, I need help," because that's
humility makes you even stronger.
Again, that's where he was coming, and he was saying, "Yo, we don't go to the hospitals. Yo, we don't go to this. We don't go. Why? Because I'm not weak enough for you to fix me, right? So when we got down to that low point, and it's just you, and it's real. God, I'm struggling with I miss my dad. I miss my sister. I miss these things, and I don't know how to get over these things. And I haven't fully grieved over these things. When you get down to that point and say, "Listen, I'm gonna give it to you because you won't give it to nobody else."
Right.
He's confidant. I can't. You've never known any of my secrets come from God. Right?
That's
right?
real. That's real.
Right.
So when you get down to that point, I think that is when. Now you're real.
Right.
Now you're real.
Right.
They say when you're
That's your most humble state.
Right.
When the
you're
mask come off.
when
Yeah.
when people
Exactly.
say
That's
I
real.
hate the saying when people be like, "Yo, when you drink, that's the true you." No, that's a masked
definitely
you
not.
still.
Right.
That's a masked
Right.
you. You're just loosely telling me what might be going on inside the real you. Because
It's
when you
still
sober
filtered.
up,
Right.
guess what you gonna do? I'm gonna mask the same
Right.
issue.
Right.
Now I'm just giving it to you a different version.
Right.
You know what I
See,
mean?
and now I'm gonna take it a step further based off what you said is behavior.
Yeah.
So, what have our behavior been? Go to church on Sunday, dress up,
Hello.
get fancy,
Right. Trying
listen to the
impress.
great music that they got going on, and then listen to the word. We're in a psychosis. We're doing the same thing. It's insanity.
It seemed like the
program
biggest,
because the
though.
behavior is going into this routine. When it
Right.
becomes a routine and where you don't get comfortable within the
monotonous.
routine, then it's insanity. You're just doing the same thing and not getting any results.
Yeah.
So behavior, a part of what Dre was saying is you got to correct your behavior as well. So if your behavior is just to go in a room, close the door, and just talk to God, then you can't just come out of the room and go do something different.
Right.
Your behaviors and your intent and everything that you do has to be reflected out of that.
Yeah.
You can talk to yourself all day and keep it real with yourself all day, but if you don't actually go out into the world and do nothing to reflect that behavior change.
But what if I'm a huge, or even if that's the word, like, what if I'm like so narcissistic that I think everything I'm doing is right?
So that's a whole nother
No
bag
hope
of
for you.
problems.
Well, that's like to me, like
No hope
I'm
for you.
thinking. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
to me, my opinion, I would say that I think that a lot of things that we deal with as just in general itself is certain things. A part of the program is like deja vu, like the Matrix of the movie.
There you go.
It shows the theory in a way
Sure.
without you even notice it, but you just have to learn to pay attention and observe. And if you
Right.
don't, you won't succeed or understand what's going on in our society right now. So we have our own issues that we deal with, but it's the same token that it's the same day we go to church on Sunday, go to church to hear about God. When you at your breaking point, when you're at your breaking point, most of the time, and it should be the greatest time, you always should think about God anyway and say, "Thank you, Lord, for waking me up this morning. Thank you, Lord, for getting me through this job because I'm dealing with employers that don't like me and that's trying to get me fired and that's getting on my nerves and I'm not trying to lose my job, so I got to stay humble." I'm hoping I didn't go off topic, but it's still the mental issue
you're
scenario.
good.
I did
So
have a question for you guys.
What's up?
Do you guys think that just a question? Do you guys think that mental health goes hand in hand with self identity?
What do you
Absolutely.
mean? What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, that's broad, but yeah,
that
I mean,
caught me off guard a little bit.
What I mean by that is, I feel like a lot of people, they get down, or you know, myself for example, I'll get down on myself. I beat myself up about where I want to go.
Okay.
Right, about where I see myself. Again, the long term. Everybody wants that
Short
that-
term.
They want the they want the end goal
Right.
faster.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Right there.
So I
Yeah.
beat myself
Don't
up
wanna
a
do the
lot
process.
about that. Right. And sometimes I get down. I'm like, man, damn, I'm not where I'm at.
Yeah.
I wonder, is that because subconsciously I'm thinking like, man, maybe I don't know what I am or who I am right now. Maybe I know who I am, but maybe I'm not satisfied with what's going on in my life right now. So is that an identity crisis? Am I not identifying who I truly am at the moment, which then in turn is causing me to be in
I
this
think
depressed state?
you will be going beyond more than what's necessary. You're trying to push yourself to work even further than what you need to. Just observe and be blessed on what you have right now until in that future, whatever happens and whatever comes, you be ready for it.
yeah, I
And
mean,
it's gonna be when you least expect it. It's not gonna be right then and there. I wish I was rich, but it's not gonna just happen right then and there because I want it to be that way.
Yeah.
Because that's all our imagination.
you know, I think most people don't want to go through the process.
Ish.
You know, like they don't want to just, you know, take those steps, those baby steps, and sometimes, you know, I mean, you're just stuck, but you still are going through the process. You know, time is still going. Once we understand that everything is a process, and that we have to take, you know, the ups and downs, you know, the sunny skies, you know, the storms, and just persevere, which, right, you know, what Andre was talking about, you know, earlier, then you won't be as down on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of us want to, like, skip steps and get so discouraged. That's why I don't get involved in anything if my heart and mind is not, you know, into it. I don't want to, like, I don't care how much money is. You know, if people, you know, come to me and say, yo, Pat, get involved in this, we can make so much money, and that's all they're talking about, I'm good, bro.
Yeah.
So I would say a couple things. One, I cannot say with absolute certainty that getting down on yourself stems from a lack of confidence, right? What I can say, what I know for myself is what you think ultimately, consistently over time, will have a very, very large impact on where you end up. One of the things my pastor always says is the one person you hear talk more than anybody on earth is you.
That's a fact.
Right?
Yeah.
The person you hear talk the most is you.
You believe yourself.
Right. So the question becomes...
The word becomes flesh.
Right.
Right.
So what the question becomes, what am I saying to myself? What does my self-talk sound like? If my self-talk is negative, then it's inevitable that I'm going to end up down on myself. Because I'm hearing myself
The mind controls the
reinforce
body, bro.
negative
Right.
thought, right?
Exactly.
Man, the mind controls the body.
And then
Yeah.
everything else falls in line.
Let me say this, like,
That's good points.
phenomenal question, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
right? We're human first.
Yes.
That's a fact.
Right? So I ain't gonna say everybody, I don't want to put it, but most people, that is going to naturally happen.
Yeah, because I get down.
Right? Because we was having this conversation in the hall, like, and we was referencing the Belly movie, right?
Right.
It was like,
Right.
you got to put it in the bag and then get the money,
Right.
Right?
Yeah, right.
And so
a
back to the
process.
process. But even when you're in that process, it's easy to be like, you know what? These people are already here. I want to be there,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And man, I got to go through these hurdles just to get there.
Yeah.
And so for me, I've been there and currently there, by the way. Let me just be honest about that. But that's why it was important for me to get mentors
Sure.
in the fields
Yeah,
that I'm
man.
interested in. So when I'm feeling that, I connect with them and share where I'm at. Like,
Yeah.
and they were like, I've been there. Right.
Right. You-
Keep pushing
Yeah.
because you're on the precipice of
what you're trying to
something
get to.
great.
Wow.
It just hit me when you were talking and you said, "Hey, I am there right now."
Yeah, for sure.
I think a lot of people's issue, when it comes to again being real or being honest with yourself, is nobody wants to feel like they're behind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody wants
That's a
to
good
feel
point.
like I'm being one up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I caught myself last week. I could not make this up. I caught myself lying about something that I had no business lying about. Right. But then I was like, bro, my bad, I lied to you. Right? Because and I think it's the nature of the beast.
Right.
Is kill or be killed. It's no
Right.
Nobody wants to be behind the next man. It
Right.
was so simple. It was, listen to me, okay? All right.
Are you a one-upper?
I'm not.
You not a one-upper?
No.
You know somebody say, man, I went to Las Vegas last week. Oh yeah, but I just came back from.
Mr. Me
Yeah.
I used
too.
I used to be the guy that just wanted to tie.
Oh, okay.
I never wanted to one up, but
definitely
now,
used to me too.
now I've gotten to the point where it's like, all right, this is where I'm at, right? I used to be the guy that, oh, you went to Vegas? Oh yeah, that's cool. I already been there.
Twice. I've been there
Right? Right?
4 times.
Tight,
And I
right?
stayed at the Ritz-Carlton.
But really, deep down inside, I've been to Vegas. I was just playing Grand Theft Auto at the time, and that's where the mission was. I was, me personally, have
man,
never
stop. Hey,
been
man,
to
this dude-
Vegas,
hey, this dude right here.
but I
You
was
done changed
there.
the mix a
You
little
tell me
bit.
that I wasn't.
You done changed the mix.
So I
Said, man, you
think
played Grand Theft Auto.
right. Get on the mission. But again, I think everybody wants to feel equal. Everybody wants to feel like we're on the same playing field. I pulled up next to cars. You pulled up next to cars. You pulled up next to cars and said, yo, that's a nice car.
Yeah.
And then I've even gone so far as when we were little, right? Let's play this game. Oh, that's my car.
Yeah.
That's my car. No, it's not.
Oh, yeah,
You're in the
that-
back
that
seat.
game right
And
there.
You know,
check this out. So, what I was saying, right? Like, it's not. We're human, so we're gonna feel that. The
Right.
point is, don't beat yourself up when you get there.
There it is.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a feeling. It'll pass, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get to a point where you can be grateful for where you are,
Right.
and you can look back to where you started.
Right.
Yeah.
Look back
Yeah,
where
yeah.
you started,
Yeah.
and look at all the blessings you have in this moment. So when you can shift that for being grateful for being in the moment, like, so sometimes it's imperative for me to write down a gratitude list. Like sometimes I could get deep into it. Like, damn, like I've been at this pounding this stone. You ever read the book Pound the Stone? Man, y'all gotta check that up.
Okay.
Right? And I wish I could quote what the book was, but it basically referenced. So there's a stone maker, right? And he's pounding the stone consistently, and he knows that it wasn't the 100th blow, but the 101st that cracked it. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was that one more time that he did
Right.
it,
Yeah.
and he didn't get stressed about the 100 that he put in.
Right.
You know what I mean? He just kept going until he completed the mission.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's natural to get depressed because, like, man, it's 99
You
times.
got his one.
Element.
So don't beat yourself up when you get there. Own that and let yourself know that it's okay that you're there, right? And be grateful for where you are, but just keep pounding because
like
it
And
will
I
crack.
think the
You feel
thing
me?
I try to tell myself, and the thing I try to tell other people, and it's real subtle, people miss it, is don't lie to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? And so what people think I mean is,
Back to
don't
be real
tell
with yourself.
Yeah, people think I'm saying don't tell yourself you're bigger than what you are. What I'm actually saying is don't tell yourself you're worse.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Right.
we'll lie to
Wow.
we'll lie to ourselves and say,
Wow.
man, I ain't where that person is.
Wow.
Man, I ain't this, I ain't that, I ain't that.
That's-
Hold on now, time out. Now you're lying to yourself.
That's
Because you're dope.
spicy.
Right?
Right.
You're dope.
Right.
And what you figured out so far is this, and this. These are literally the conversations I have to have with myself. No, I'm not where Pat is. Right? Pat's an entrepreneur, he owns his own business, he's doing amazing things. I'm not at the level where he's at in what I'm doing. But let me not lie to myself and convince myself that because I'm not there, I haven't started. Because the reality is, I've started and I've done a ton, bro. I've done a ton. I just haven't done
you've
what
already-
he's done.
Bro.
So don't lie to yourself.
Bro, you've already started by even saying that.
Right. But it's that perspective of right sizing your thinking
Yeah.
back to the truth is critical, and it doesn't always mean look at it and fantasize about where you want to be. It's also don't deny where you've come from, because that's lying to yourself.
That
too.
yeah, I mean,
Well, I
you
mean,
would
it's
never
still-
get
it's
where
still
you're
kinda-
going if you deny where you come from, and you would never get, you know,
Yeah.
where you're trying to
It's
get
still
to.
kind of
Do
hurt,
you
man.
know
Like
what you
I
just said though? Like what you know what you just said.
All that is part of the
So
process, man.
so what he just said, what I just took in, what you just said is, it's I'm not that far behind. We erase 1,000 accomplishments with one setback.
Time
That's
out,
the
though. Time
image
out
of
real
somebody
quick.
else.
Real important nuance.
Everything is a choice.
I'm not saying you're not that far behind. I'm also not saying you're not that far ahead. I'm saying stop measuring.
Right.
It's irrelevant.
Right.
Here's the thing. When I say don't lie to yourself,
That's pride.
the reality is you are where you are.
Yeah.
So by telling myself the truth, I'm going to ask myself, where am I?
Yeah.
Right.
And where do I expect to be? And what can I
and who are
do
you?
to
where I
get
wanna
there?
go. Yeah,
right?
that's spicy.
Right.
It hurts sometimes. That's
Right.
called humility. You
Yeah.
deal with certain situations where you can see couples or you can just be by yourself. You don't have to be in a relationship with anybody. You can just still be by yourself. But as you observe,
Aspire, man, to want more.
hey,
Yeah.
Have to
as you
always aspire,
I
man, to
mean,
want
you can
more.
see somebody that have a big old truck, a truck that you wish you could have, with a nice, beautiful woman. She could be Beyonce. It don't really matter, ish. Even better than her. I'm just saying in general itself. And you look, you got a little hoopty. You like, what if I want a big old truck like that? Like, what am I gonna do to achieve to get this? Now, it's
You know what else
self-conscious,
is important to that piece too.
Yeah.
Is the people that you got in your circle.
right?
Absolutely.
That's what I
Yeah.
was
So
gonna
you
say.
know what I was talking about
Yeah,
there, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Right. So let's say you in that moment, and then you with people that are not where you trying to be. The
Right.
conversation.
You're as good as the five people that surround
Right.
you.
Hit this
all the
blunt
time.
real quick.
Yeah.
Like, get this drink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, let's go get high. You feel me? Instead of focusing like, bro, nah, you good. Like, do this, and this. So your circle is important, man. Like, so for so many reasons. You know what I mean? Like, because if you're operating in a circle where you're doing the best in your circle, you're probably in the wrong circle.
That's what my mentor told me. If you're the smartest man in the room, get out and find another room, because you've capped out. There's
Right.
nothing else
Right.
I can learn in here.
Yeah.
So
You're
I
only
need to
teaching
get out of
yourself.
this room
Go out
and
the
go
door.
learn.
And let me be
See the,
clear,
water
that's
fountains?
not to put down the circle,
Right.
Though,
Right.
you know what I mean. But you have to
see,
allow
the door
yourself
make it
to
right.
grow. You ever seen that show, Survivor's Remorse?
Yes.
Yeah, that shit real, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
That shit real.
Absolutely.
Because I can identify with that because there was a moment in life where I felt that I should not progress
Hey, brother.
past this line. There was a moment in life where I felt that I should not progress past this line
Yeah.
because I didn't want to become seeming like I had
Too good for everybody
too good
else.
for
Exactly,
everybody.
exactly,
I can't
right.
pull up in the hood. No,
Right.
like I'm really from the section though. Like Brickwood, Sutton
Yeah.
Place.
Yeah.
It's tatted and branded. It's official,
Yeah.
right? So I didn't. There was a moment in my life where I was like, you know what? I didn't want to seem like I was trying to put on airs in front of people.
For sure.
And so I was limiting my progression
Right.
internally, you know what I mean? And I think it's important for us to talk about that because that's a part of investing in yourself too.
Right.
So getting back to that point.
I like that.
Understanding the circles that it's okay for you to grow and for you to elevate and for you to have, I don't buy into that no new friends concept.
Yeah.
I don't.
Why not? Why not? I'm interested, man, to hear that.
Man, that's a good point, right? Because if you don't buy into no new friends, then how do you grow?
Exactly.
Right.
I hear you.
I'm
How
around
do
the
you
same
grow?
people all the time.
I hear you.
How do you get new information?
Right.
Bro,
It's new connections.
I'm very,
It's self accountability.
yeah. And
Self
me,
accountability is making sure that one, you're doing your best. And part of being your best is making sure that you got the right people around you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I would rather have none of the people around me if I'm only going to be able to have the same people who are now helping me grow around me. And that's nothing knocking that because I got a lot of family members and I go to family events, I hang out, we go do stuff,
Man, we can
shake
kick
up,
the bubble
hug and all
all
that.
day, yes.
And then when I get done, I go back and get back to
We're
business.
back to
Yeah.
pounding the
So
stone.
what's
Yeah.
important for me is progression.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, my kids are looking at me and seeing what I'm going to do. And who am I to tell them how to do something and I'm not applying those same rules? And this is where millennials are today with our parents and elders.
Show me.
It's because you've been telling me for years to go to church, go to school,
Yeah.
go to college, do all these things. But you didn't even do it. You see what I'm saying? So now they're growing up and they have access to internet and technology and all these things. So you say something, they're going to go fact check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said this, and this says this, and I found
My
10
oldest
pages
son
that
does
said
it all
this.
the time.
Yeah,
So-
and
so,
then
yeah.
Who said that?
are we raising leaders
8 years
or are
old.
we raising workers?
Right.
Hey, you know what,
Right.
man? It's a great point.
Right. You got
You
to
know
raise
what I'm saying?
leaders. And
Me and Dre, man, we had a
you have to lead by
conversation about
example.
that.
I think that if you're working hard enough, you are a leader. That's just
Break that down for
get
me. Break that down for me.
so like he asked, are we raising leaders or are we raising workers? Right? Martin Luther King was a
Leader.
It was both.
Malcolm X was a
Leader.
right. Mahatma Gandhi was a
Leader.
but they worked for it.
Okay.
Everything they did, it was work. It was
Yeah.
work. I didn't just wake up
Yeah.
and say, you know what, I'm a lead. I gotta
Right.
put work in. I gotta
For
show.
sure.
I gotta go out there. I'm never going
have to
to
be a
follow
servant leader.
anybody's lead
Who hasn't worked.
who ain't walked in the same. It's the fat gym
I'm with
teacher
you.
rule.
I'm with you. I'm
Don't tell me to run 52 laps and I know you're gonna pass out doing one. So in that's what I got from that.
Yeah,
I know what you mean.
well, let me put some context
Servant
to it
leadership,
because
bro.
I think and I love servant lead. I lead
Yeah,
in that manner.
yeah, love
but,
it, yeah.
But let me put some context to what I was referencing. Like so, and if you think about it, in high school, right, they teach you,
To get
they
ready to
train you to be to
work.
work,
Right.
not to lead. I mean, and maybe that means you be a leader in the factory, and I'm not knocking that, but we're, sometimes we can limit our children's ability to be greater based on what we think that they can do.
That goes back
or
to my
can't do.
point when I was saying as a young child, Daddy saying, "Hey, be Michael Jordan, be
Yes.
the guy that goes out
Now
there and
that
gotta
is-
play
yes,
82
that's a good
games
connection, yes.
just to." Instead of
Or-
saying, "Hey, be the guy that's in the suit, in the jump." Mark Cuban gets fined every game, and it does not matter to him because I own the team. I own
Right.
Dirk. I own all. Everybody
Right.
in here has just bought me
Right.
a brand new Ferrari drop top truck, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Right.
So instead of and those again are those little tools that we missed out on in the home is going from being the face of it to being sometimes being behind the scenes is you're more likely to be seen that way.
Right.
So let's talk about that. If I
No,
Yeah,
no,
no,
good.
no,
But let's
I mean,
talk
good,
about
bro.
that practically. Like I want to talk about some practical examples of how you teach your kids how to lead. So
Right.
so one thing that was important for me, and I want to hear other people's
Yeah.
approaches to this. So my son is 7 years old.
Okay.
He came to me and said, "I want a Nintendo Switch," and my daughter said the same thing. And then we were in the store, and my daughter saw how much it was, and she said, "That's too expensive." And I said, "What does that mean?
Rich dad, poor dad.
Explain to me what that means." Exactly. I'm like, "Explain to me what that means." She said, "Well, I just think it costs too much money." And the thing I wanted to get across to her is, baby, you can have anything in this world you're willing to go after and go get.
Thank
Right.
you.
Right?
Thank
So
you.
then the conversation switched from, tell me how much it costs. I'm not going to give you the money, but tell me how we can work together for you to get it.
Right.
So
We
what
talked
did,
about this.
Yeah. So what
Yeah,
we
we
did
talked-
was we bought a box of candy for $17.99, and we showed them. Now, mind you, it's a third grader and a second grader. So everything we're doing right now in school is math. By buying the box of candy, now I can ask you the question: how much did you pay for this piece of candy in the box? I don't know. Okay, let me show you how to do it, right? The box costs this much. You divide that by the total number that's in there. Now you get a price per piece.
Right.
Okay, you're trying to make $300 because it costs $300. Now let's talk about how much you need to sell this piece of candy for, right? Well, you need to sell it for $1. And at the end, if you sell all 30, how many dollars will you have?
Right.
I'll have $30. Okay, you do that 10 times. How much money you got? $300. Right, you got enough money to go
There you
buy
go.
your
Right.
first thing.
It's
Now
powerful.
here's where we switch from employee mindset to owner mindset, right? It was the next thing was, okay, so if the box of candy costs $17.99, where are you gonna get the money from?
There you go.
I don't know. Great. Dad and mom are gonna give you a loan. We're gonna give you your
Yep.
first small business loan
Yep.
for $17.99.
That's dope.
So now this $30 you're about to make, you're gonna owe me $17.99.
Right.
Now they didn't get that at first
Right.
until they sold all the candy and they were excited. And then we counted out all $30 on the table, and I took $17.99. Actually, I took $19.25 because they owed me the taxes.
Hold on for a second.
But then what? Let me do this last thing.
Yeah,
and then the thing they didn't realize we were gonna do. So we told them, here, you owe me $19.25, right? And now you got the rest. Now you got to go re-up. You got to go buy another box of candy. Right.
Yeah.
So now they're looking at it like I didn't make any money.
Exactly.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
You made enough money to go buy your
Another
own
one.
product,
Boxes, you go.
and now you're going to make all the money from that product minus your re-up.
Absolutely.
Then what they didn't account for, the same $19.25 we spent to get you that box that we just took from you, now we're going to buy a box and give it to you. So where you would have only been able to buy one box, we're now giving you two, plus
another box.
but we didn't invest it this time, right? Well, we did, but we gave you a gift of the $19.25. The first time I made you earn it, right? Once you earned it, now you shift to a position of power, and now you're able to make the decisions. That's the difference between teaching somebody how to work and teaching them how to lead. You're not wrong in what you were saying.
Yeah.
I'm just like relating back to what he was going
Yeah, and see,
but just practical examples.
Yeah, and see, and we talked about this, man, like 3 weeks ago, right? So the only thing that I would do different with my son is that I wouldn't loan him anything.
Yeah.
So if he needed something, you know, like some front money, I'll say, okay, son, you know, how much do you need? Okay, $18. Okay, so this is what you got to do in order to earn that money, because I'm not going to let you start your business off on a loan. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just me.
That's
just me. So that's just me. So you're going to learn how to earn that money to start your business. So now when you start, the only person that you owe is yourself. You know what I'm saying?
You just took that to a whole nother
But you know, we talk because you know, my thing with my oldest son, I mean, you know, I have 2 sons, right? But my oldest is 8 years old. So he sees daddy, you know, operate every day, like all day. And he asks me, now he's asking way more questions, man. So I'm having all these like entrepreneurial conversations with him. And I tell him all the time, like, Pat, like, if you're going to, and I mean, it's weird because like, I think Saturday, like, I sat him down for about 20 minutes and you know, I said, son, listen, I'm going to teach you how to start. If you ever start a business, right, or if you take over daddy's business, listen, never start it on a loan. You know what I'm saying? Because anything can happen. And granted, you know, to each his own. You know, people go, man, and get loans and, you know, lines of credit. You know, that's fine. And it works out. But just me, I would rather a person earn the money than start their business.
So let me
because
ask
to me, there's more pride in that.
And we just talked about this.
We did. We had a whole in-depth conversation.
Shout out to my daughter who's only 2 and can't ask me for anything.
Let me ask you, like, why do you have that perspective? And you leveraged it a little. You gave a little bit of content, but give me a little. I don't mean that.
No, you good, man.
I'm curious as the mind state of I need to start with all of my equity.
You know what? Me personally, man, because you know we talk about credit and stuff all the time, right? And like, look, credit and loans are cool, you know what I'm saying? But just me, my grandfather was big on, if you're going to invest in something, make sure that it's your own money first. Because if anything happens, the only person that you got to pay back is you first. You know, so like you don't have to get a loan and then pay, you know, all this, interest. And now if it doesn't work out, then you're going to start doubting yourself. But if you really want something and you put the sweat equity in, and then you start getting some money from it, then you take what you've earned and put it into it. To me, you're really serious about what you're doing. Because a lot of people would earn money and then they're like, you know what, man, do I really want to invest in this, man? Nah, you know what, I can go buy these Jordans or you know, blow this money doing this. But if you earn the money off top, then you invest it and then you flip it and then it starts to grow and grow and grow and grow, and you're using your own money, you know, your own capital, man, to do that. I mean, that's what I do, man, with you know, my business. Like, I don't use any loans, any credit cards, anything. I mean, you know, I have that stuff, but I don't use them.
Something that we often forget to mention is that sweat equity. I love sweat equity.
Sweat equity is huge, bro.
Because we talk about equity in homes, equity in cars. We talk about all this other equity, but we never talking about what it takes from you, what you have to go put in. So my dad was the same way. We never had the loan process. We never did anything like that. I said, Dad, I wanted the new Jordans. He said, all right, cool. We're going to go get them at 6 o'clock in the morning. I said, oh, snap. So I went to bed early, right? Because if you go to sleep, You wake
6
up.
o'clock comes.
Right, here it comes. So dad comes into the room, 5:45. Come on, son. About to go get those Jordans. I said, I think I was mismatched out. Shirt was on backwards. I couldn't get out the house fast enough. I'm outside. Boom. It's a lawnmower in the middle of our lawn. Okay? And now I'm like, Dad, you know, what we can't leave
You
this
have to
here. It's
work
gonna
for
get
your meal.
stolen, right? I'm
Right.
on the way to the car like, Dad, somebody gonna steal this. You don't want to put it up. He sat in the chair on the porch, and I knew then that maybe I didn't want these Jordans as bad as I, because I wasn't willing to put in the sweat equity.
And that's the thing
Right.
about it.
And so he put the lawnmower up, and I said, I was like, Dad, I don't want to cut no grass for for the Jordans or whatever. He was like, well, listen, whenever you want something that you want bad enough,
You'll go get it.
you'll
You
go get it.
Exactly.
He was like,
Which is what I was.
He came with a pocket full of money. I'm talking about Dad worked hard. Pocket full of money, and I just knew he's walking out the house counting. I'm like, what? We're gonna get 6 pairs of these Jordans, right?
Yeah.
But then he sat down in this chair and he was like, no, I put in my sweat equity for this so that I can put in for this house, for this food that you eating, for this gas that I gotta put in this car and all these other things. And that's when I knew. I said, okay, I gotta work for what I want.
Right.
So
An example of sweat equity that, to me, is so recent is this right here.
Absolutely.
I mean, when we created this, bro, it was. I mean, man, like I looked around, I'm like, dude, this had no floors, no paint, no nothing in here. I looked at him like, bro, hey, dude, I don't know, man.
For sure.
But I mean, we did it. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we did it. It's not like we get paid millions of dollars to do this, but.
Right.
But this is
Yeah,
a form.
it's
this is a
don't
form.
limit your
Yeah,
growth.
It takes.
Yeah.
It takes.
Oh yeah. I'm not.
Time and
I'm
dedication.
just saying,
Time and
but
dedication.
but like this is something that we invested in because this is like something that like we both love.
Yeah, and I get your point. I have a different perspective on that conversation.
Okay.
And I think I like that when you're teaching a principle to your children.
Sure.
But when you're trying to scale and grow a business,
Right.
it's
That's
a
a
different
different
mindset.
story.
That's what I was going to say. That there's the options that have been presented.
Yeah.
Both work.
Yes.
It's
for
all
sure.
about what you're trying to do.
What
with it.
is the end that you're trying to achieve?
Right, because there's going to be things and reasons. Like there's an adventure that I'm taking on
Yep.
now, and I could use my own money,
You gotta use-
or I can use somebody else's money. So
Apple, Amazon, Microsoft. Bro, no, I mean, they financed them companies, right?
Right.
And there
To get them
was
to scale.
there was
Right.
no way that
Yeah.
they were going to be able to reach scale without that.
Right.
yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
even
And so-
Microsoft started with a computer and a trust fund.
Correct, right? So it wasn't.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Hey, bro, they have like
so I-
$122 billion cash or something
Yeah.
crazy like that. That
Yeah.
is
Did
nuts.
y'all watch that Bill
down,
Gates
man.
documentary?
Yeah, I did.
Man, it's powerful.
On
Yeah.
what
I'm
did
about
it
to start
come on?
invest. If Bill Gates is
Netflix.
investing in nuclear,
Netflix.
I'm investing in nuclear. Bro.
yeah. See, and this is the hidden. This
That's a
is
whole
the
nother
hidden
conversation,
conversation,
by the way.
and why. And when we talked about it earlier, is that this society in America is teaching you to go work
Yes.
because you need workers. You need workers to fuel the economy. You need
there's nothing
people
wrong
who
with
want
that
to.
either.
Right.
Yeah,
There's nothing
yeah,
wrong with that.
yeah,
You're going to
yeah,
have
there's
people
nothing
who
wrong
are
with
who want to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But you also have visionaries
Yes.
and people who are problem solvers.
Yes.
Most problem solvers are the ones who are the visionaries who are going to make more of the money. You know, so in order to do that, you got one or two choices. You can sweat equity it out. You
Yeah.
can work for 20 years and save as much money as you can, or you can build your credit up, get a decent amount of funding and loans, and take care of that. Now, I do recommend is that if you shouldn't get loan and funding that you can't take care of.
There you go.
100%.
Yeah.
But let's be clear about that too, right? Because just because you're leveraging debt doesn't mean that there is not a significant amount of
Risk.
sweat
Right.
equity.
That goes
Right.
into his risk.
Sweat
For
equity
sure.
though,
Yeah.
For sure.
to put it together.
Because you got to
know
get
what
that.
I mean?
You got to pay that money.
Yeah, because all they gonna do is be like, "Here's the bag." Now, how
What you gonna do
What you
with it?
do with the bag is your.
Exactly.
That
So
takes
how do you
a
make-
tremendous amount of research,
Yeah.
long days, long nights to figure it out, put
And
it
a lot
together.
of times
because
you're putting in even more work.
yeah, because you're on the
Yeah.
hook for somebody else's
Absolutely.
money, and nobody gets in the
Absolutely.
business to fail, bro. I mean, like you want your business to
No, that's a
succeed.
fact.
You know what I mean?
And here's another
Yeah.
thing though, man. Like, Wow, I think I just lost my train of thought.
Don't worry, I got you back. Shout out. I just wanted to
I looked at him, I lost my train of thought.
shout out to
you
Gray
good?
Area for
Appreciate it, bro.
the
Hey, thanks,
show
bro.
because
Facts.
this all happened off of, hey guys, what do you think about investing in yourself? We went mental health. We went mental health. We went how I broke down money to my children.
Yeah,
we went to I'm building on my own. We went to
Credit versus
invest,
debt.
and now we're talking about losing our points.
Okay.
This is
All right.
absolutely.
I know this is probably
That's
random.
hilarious.
No one
Wow.
can do
Wow.
this. No one can do this.
Yo,
Shout out
hey,
Gray
man.
Area.
Hey man, look, bro, we appreciate you, bro. He's hilarious, man.
I know this is off topic a little bit When we was talking about investing, there are certain ways that we can invest, like business terms in general itself, how others make money, like Netflix and other different movie particular scenario. But I'm a musician. I play the drums. I play the lead guitar. Play the keyboard.
That's a musician for you.
And I can sing.
Okay.
My voice sounds funny. As you hear my voice, but the way I sing is two different things.
Awesome.
I'm not gonna sing on here. I'm not gonna do that right now.
That was the second question.
Sing,
I mean, that's good. I'm
Sing,
wrong, but I'm not.
And if you say you can sing, we gotta.
Well, then here we go.
second.
Because I know him more than anybody in this room. And my question to you is, I've listened to you talk, I've listened to your points and all these great things.
Yeah.
Why haven't you chose to invest in the one thing that you can do that no one can take? You have a job,
Right.
someone can take that. You have an apartment, someone can take that.
You're right.
You have clothes. If I'm hungry enough and I know where you live,
Right.
I can take that.
Yeah.
I can't take your gift in singing. So why haven't you invested that? Why haven't you invested yourself into
Boy, he
what
put you
you
on the
could
hot
do?
seat. Boy, let me
Yeah,
tell you
he
this story
did,
real
didn't he?
quick.
Let's talk about it.
Sing, She's Your Queen to Be.
Shout out coming to America too. I can't wait to see that.
No,
Bad Boys is gonna
see,
be fire.
okay, my voice is different. I know it sounds.
You didn't
different.
answer the question.
And you really gonna put me on the spot?
Yeah.
Everyone is watching.
Do you have the answer, Sway?
You're fired.
Why haven't I invest on just using my talent? Because I've been dealing with a lot of things in my life that no one have no idea of. So I never had the chance to really use my talent the way I wanted to.
Right.
Put it
So
in the sing. Put it in your songs.
All
Hello.
right, okay, this is the intro.
Hello,
This,
there
okay,
it is.
If it's like that, then this is what I'm gonna do. All right, it's something, it's okay. Everybody, I'm really.
Bro, if you don't.
All right, I quit. Who why you doing this to me? Oh no, I only dream to be in love with you. You are the one, my baby, my lady.
All you had to do was
We
ask.
can't be.
He gonna sing. He gonna sing like that. He gonna sing like
Sexual chocolate. Sexual chocolate.
Hold on now.
No.
As soon as he stood up, I couldn't look that way.
Yeah. I believe the children.
that boy good, ain't he?
Let them lead the way.
That boy good.
Show them all the beauty
That's
they
it.
possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. Make it easier.
And I think the main theory, like, I love music so much. My favorite instrument is the lead guitar. I love my lead guitar so much.
Yeah, man.
It's,
I got a
Look around
question
you,
for
you're
you.
rebuking me, ain't
I got a question for you.
For sure.
For you two.
Okay.
Because I watch the show a lot, and you guys ask a lot of
Appreciate
questions.
that, man.
You guys put a lot out there, and I thought about this just now. What made you invest in yourself? What made you say, "Hey,
Wow.
I'm gonna invest in me now"?
You want
a
me to
go
good
first?
question
I'll go
right there.
first. I'll go first.
That's pretty good.
I looked at everything outside of me. Everything that I do, like I feel like our purpose on this earth is to feed and help other people. we have to be selfless.
That's true.
And I think the blessings come from you being selfless. So I've been blessed from the time that I was like, I had a rough upbringing up until I became a man at 27, and then I had a period where I reflected and said I need to get my together. From that point on, I was blessed there on out, and the sacrifice was giving up everything that I knew to adapt to a lot of things that I didn't know. And I was blessed in that time period so much that I said I gotta give back some kind of way. How can I give back to other people? And me and him always had conversations, and it took me a while. You know what's crazy is that this evolved, and I didn't think about that until after. I said, people give back money, they give back time, they give all these things. I said, what am I giving back? What can I give back that would be genuine enough and be more realistic that will make me feel good at the end of the night? It's the gray area. So I volunteer my time to do this for people for free. We don't ask for a dime. And this is my way of giving back. And that's why I do.
And, to add to what he just said, me personally, man, I look at things as though like they're bigger than me. Like everything I do, I look at it like it's bigger than me. And I'm more driven towards breaking cycles. You know what I'm saying? My father wasn't there, so I have kids, right? So I have 2 sons, so I'm a father man to them. So everything I do is always geared around how can I improve the people that are around me and play a part in making lives better. So that led to this, it led to me doing other things. And it led to me like fighting fears that I had within myself, okay, could I really do this? And by building this right here, it really helped me say, damn, if we did this, man, and we didn't go to school to be, in broadcasting or
anything.
Yeah, nothing. It just, us doing it and to see like the traction that this has gained. I'm like, well, you know what? I'm skilled at this, I'm knowledgeable in this. Why don't I invest in that, things that I know and just see how how these things grow. And even when I get down, not down on myself, but like if I have like any type of doubt, I'm like, Pat, man, you're not doing it, man, for you. You're doing it, man. It's bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? Because
legacy.
Legacy, exactly. So
That's fine.
You gotta be completely selfless.
I think that's
And that's one
servant
of the
leadership,
hardest
bro.
things to do is
I
to
think-
give yourself to people
that makes sense.
and ask nothing in return.
Again,
yeah.
going back to where we were at before, vulnerability,
Oh, yeah.
being powerful,
Mm.
those things
Humility.
it
Humility.
plays such a factor because again, you're not doing this for money. You're not doing this for anything like that. I am giving you, this is who I am. This is what I have. So when I give you what I have, and then let's just say somebody comes in here and just disrespects the whole, I'm talking about that. You know what I mean? Now you're like, you see what I'm saying? So everything ties back in to what you were saying at first. And it's about how much love of God is in me and how many times I forgive you and forgive you and forgive you. I don't forget. I'll never forget it. I've forgiven this guy, a good friend of mine, you know him, a good friend of mine broke into my house and took my things. Great friend of mine. Absolutely great friend of mine. I forgave. I will never forget. You will never come back to where I stay. You will never know who I have around. You will never. In fact, if you have a friend and I am because they're connected to us. So in saying that little piece of giving yourself to somebody, it can ruin everything.
Absolutely.
It can
Humility,
ruin
man, is
everything.
key, man.
Absolutely.
You brought up, when we first got started, you were asking about the qualities that go into someone being successful in investing in themselves.
Sure.
And what you were just saying really made me kind of go back to that question, as you were just asking them, like, why did they invest in themselves and what got them started?
Great question, too,
And
bro.
the thing that I thought about was you have to get to a point where I don't know if willing is the right word, but where you believe, you have to redefine failure. That's what I'm trying to get at, right? So for me,
That's fire.
I grew up in a single parent home, had 2 older brothers. Everybody was kind of doing all different stuff. Nobody was really into nothing crazy. But at a point, I had a lot of success in athletics, and it got me into college. Once I got into college, I couldn't maintain the success because I wasn't doing what I was supposed to be doing. So I ended up having to join the military. I didn't have to join the military, but I joined the military. It was one of the best decisions I ever made. But I thought I had failed because I wasn't an athlete anymore. And everything I had done had been about me being an
I
athlete.
felt like that before.
My cousin feels like
I
that.
was there
You
before.
can. I don't. None of my family. When you see him, you like, man. Without football, he don't know who he is without it.
That's a lot of athletes deal with that.
Redefining
Yeah, a lot.
A
failure.
lot of athletes deal with
I
that.
didn't just fail because I'm not good at football, or my football career didn't go as far as I wanted to. I have to say that this is where I got to.
Yeah.
Now, what do I do next?
And I'm saying slightly different, right? The idea of failure in our community is I didn't achieve what I expected to or what other people might have expected of me.
Right.
The reality is I tried something, not lying to yourself, I tried something and I had no idea how it was going to turn out. That's the truth, right?
Right.
I had no idea how it was going to turn out. So if I had any measure of success, I got to be happy about that because I didn't know it was going to be this thing,
and
right?
the blessing is it turned out the way it was supposed to.
It turned out the way it's supposed to.
Because that led you to your wife.
Exactly.
That led you to your
Exactly.
kids.
Yeah, to see the
Exactly.
process.
That led you to
Exactly.
today.
Exactly.
Right.
That's a
This
hell of a
moment
point,
in
bro.
this conversation.
So
That's a
when
hell
I
of a
say
point.
when I say redefining failure, for me, what I have to remind myself in my self-talk is anytime I feel like I didn't exceed or meet my expectations, I have to tell myself, okay, that's true, but I did not fail. Because failure for me is having had an opportunity and being too scared to try.
Yes. Yes.
That's the failure.
Yes.
Is the unwillingness
Yes.
You're
to try.
absolutely right.
Because you're
Because
gonna
the
live with
reality
regrets,
is,
man.
because here's the
Yeah,
truth.
live with
Here's the
regrets.
truth. We tend to not try stuff because we're afraid
Yes.
we're gonna make a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
Don't lie to yourself. You're absolutely gonna make a mistake. You don't know what you're doing.
Right.
yeah.
The first thing you're gonna do is mess it up.
Yes.
But if you embrace that idea and walk anyway, all you're gonna do is learn.
Yep.
That's it.
If I
Fall
can,
in
if
love.
I can
Isn't
say
it though?
anything
Isn't it
about
though?
myself specifically is that I am not afraid to jump off the cliff.
No.
I
Bruh.
You
like
can
y'all been
be.
to Jamaica before? Anybody
Yeah.
been?
Yeah.
And you know you go like
Not
the
yet.
Nick's Cavern Cafe.
Nah,
and you
I
can
didn't.
jump
Leave,
off
I
the.
don't, I don't
plan to
leave
go
the
though.
resort when I go to Jamaica, but that's just me.
I think
What?
humility.
About the
Like,
clock.
for me, my
I just
opinion.
wanna let
No, but
My
listen,
opinion-
listen. So,
okay.
so you get up to that ledge and you look over that water, right? And it's
serious, right?
listen. And I looked back, like I was talking all mad shit, like yeah, I'm about to jump. We living our best life. What y'all doing?
We living our best life.
Listen, the bomb the clock, right? So I get up to the ledge and I look like we 50 feet
Right.
above the water
Right,
off
right.
a cliff, and there's like rocks at the bottom. And I look back, I was like, fuck, I ain't about to do this.
6 feet from the
But it was
edge
like a
of
line of
mountain.
people behind me,
you
and
do it?
I couldn't go back.
Yeah.
So I just jumped.
Yeah.
And that's really kind of always been my mantra.
yeah.
So like my very first business was I started a retail women's shoe store, bro.
Okay.
In Lafayette Square Mall.
Okay.
Like, and this was like 5 or 6 years. I didn't know nothing
You was
about
trying to be
women.
like Al Bundy, huh? But go ahead.
Not facts, bro. But listen, and Al Bundy had that wave too.
Didn't he though?
But listen, I didn't know nothing about retail. I didn't know nothing about ordering product, how to display it. Nothing. And it ended up being somewhat successful, right? I mean, as much as you can be successful in Lafayette Square
Right.
in current state.
Sure. For sure.
That was fire.
But listen.
I drove
So-
past
so-
Lafayette Square the other day, boy. It looked like Eastgate. But go ahead.
At worst, no, you know what? I got love for Lafayette Square. It's not- Lafayette Square gave me an
Shout out my
opportunity.
guy Tone in Lafayette Square. Holding
Young,
it down, man.
young
The
Maxie,
Lakers, man.
young Maxie, right?
Shout out the
But
Lakers.
listen. So it was that. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but look, the relationship with the owners, right? And the owners like, yeah, we just put these people out. Give me $1,500. You can have the whole store, the fixtures, and everything. Talk about a blessing, right?
Nice.
So I scraped together my last little what to do. I had enough to order product, right? So I go into the store and we just looking through. I'm talking about walls and walls and walls of women accessories,
Yeah.
right? So we
Yeah.
looking through the thing, me and my partner at the time, and there was like 10 envelopes, and we started to bust them open. $300, $400.
Oh my goodness.
$500. Like when we were done, we had 2,000. And then this is how you know that it's where you're supposed to be going because effortlessly,
Right.
so effortlessly
Green
that
light.
you like, man, listen, like this.
Learning principles
Every step.
and traits and qualities where you are now that when
Yeah.
you start everything else on that entrepreneurial route,
Yeah.
you can apply it more to that.
And back to Dre's point, just not being afraid to go. Man, I can't even tell you the amount of people that, well, tell me more. I need to do it. Bro, just go.
Yeah, man, let's
Just
go.
go,
Let's go.
and you will figure it out as you go. Now, I'm not saying doing that blindly. Like you want to have some level of due diligence and calculated risk within that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But don't be afraid to start.
I just
David.
want to say to that point that fear is so temporary. Fear is
It's an illusion, bro.
because gone, fear gone. Because now whatever's about to happen is about to happen.
Mind you,
fear is so.
I bruised up my whole ass though. Let me be honest.
But
The whole backside was purple and blue.
You
But-
got hurt in the process.
And then I went back and jumped again from a higher spot.
there you go. But
And I rode the bus back to the resort like this.
but
Yeah, it
again,
was all bad.
I said that
That's
to
hilarious.
say, and I'm talking to myself because I have a secret about myself that no one knows that I'm scared of. Right? I'm not scared because I haven't tried it. There you go. I have not tried it. I have not put myself in a position to
Skydiving.
conquer to find out if I'm even scared. Right? So this before the winter hits, I am going to check, and everyone will know because I will go live about it. But I have to share it. I get on stage and I share my secrets. You know, I'm getting on stage. I share secrets about men, things that we think about women. I get on stage and I talk about. So I put my whole life in front of these people on a platform, and you guys pay $15 to come see it. I have to give you guys something for free. I have to say, hey, here's a bit of my life that I want you guys to have for nothing.
Right.
And I gotta get, because my goal is to entertain every last one of you. I want you guys to be able to go and say, hey man, this guy I'm about to go see in this movie, he was on the gray area. That's my guy. I can call him right now. But in order to do that, I've got to get over this part. And I got to figure out, again, if I'm scared. I've never done it. And I needed to hear everything that you guys are saying because I've never tried it.
Man,
Iron
just do
sharpen
it.
iron.
So that's
Iron sharpens
The worst
iron.
thing that can happen is that you can fail.
No. Hold on, real quick.
There's a lesson.
It's not failure,
Okay.
right?
Change the narrative.
By definition, what we're saying is failure is the idea that I am too afraid to try at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
I'm failing at the moment.
Because you're going to learn anyway. You're going to learn.
The worst thing that can happen
Is
is
that
that
you
you
can
could learn something that you don't already know.
Yes.
And you would
Right.
learn it by experience,
Yes.
not by philosophy taught through a book. And there's nothing wrong with academics, but you would learn it by actually.
And everything, wisdom, word of
Food for
wisdom, and
thought.
everything. But I'm gonna say this in my self situation when it comes to investing. I had to invest so much in things that I lost. Grown ass man, excuse my language, for 5 years, and I'm looking on the patio smoking a cigarette, and just feel like my whole life is just passing me through. Each time I see cars going straight through, they got their music on and everything and maintaining. My feelings was hurt. My pride was crushed. I didn't know what to do. I dealt with my past relationship in the past. I can explain things that I've been dealing with for a long period of time, but I told myself when I leave my mom, my pops, my mom's house, I'm never gonna be homeless again.
Yeah.
I had nowhere to go. To be a grown man, you have to be strong. You have to keep your chest out and stay strong. When you in a relationship, you have to have money. You have to have a job. If you ain't got a job, what you gonna do with your woman? What are you gonna do? Look stupid? Yeah, you gonna keep on having her pay for you to get food and going through this and going through that?
You take that journey.
Yeah. So when I said humility comes before a fall, you have to learn how to stick your chest out and say, you know what? This is my situation right here. This is what I'm trying to succeed. Well, I want to succeed. I want to become somebody. I don't want to be in the same predicament every day. I don't want to deal with it no more. I have to make a change for myself, my life. The mistakes I made is in the past. I have to move forward. I can't look back no more. Nobody's going to take care of me. I have to take care of myself. So if I want that future wife, the one that I want, that I've been dreaming about all my life, then I better be successful and have that mucho dinero and make sure I'm increasing the way that I'm supposed to instead of sitting on a patio smoking a cigarette and drinking beer and getting drunk.
finances doesn't always guarantee happiness.
It isn't that.
It's not.
That's true.
No.
It's not, because I've been in a relationship where I didn't have a job for a while, and to be honest, that was the worst I've ever felt, as far as being a man. But as far as just growth, I grew so much from that relationship, right? I grew because at that point, I didn't feel like I had a say. I needed to be here. I needed to be at this baseline and do everything else. That girl never cooked. She never cleaned. She never did anything. I had to learn to, and I'm at the house by myself. So guess who's getting to know me?
You.
Me. So I had to learn me again. So when I said that to say, that was a part of my growth. That was a part of my experience. Sometimes for me, being at the lowest point for me has always it's brung me to the top.
It's not the financial part. It's not the financial part necessarily. It's the part when you don't have nothing and nobody's there to have your back when you have nothing. The one that still have your back when you have nothing and when you have some things that clarifies on what is needed and what's important. That's a different story.
Shout out to
but
my
when
wife.
you don't have anything, that's a different story. When you don't
Shout out
have
to my
nothing,
wife.
they don't
Shout
want to
out
be
to my
bothered with you.
future wife.
All day. Shout out to
You know
my
what
wife.
I'm
I'm hating.
saying?
Shout out to my future wife. Yo,
You know your real wife, you will know your real woman that actually have your back when you have nothing. And
shout
buy
out
you
to my
clothes
wife,
and
baby.
spoil you and cook all the time, everyday basis, even without your permission, and get carried away when she clean the crib. And then she get mad because when you clean the crib, it's just not good enough.
Bro,
She'll get mad. And
bro,
then
I'll be transparent for a
but
minute, bro.
it's a beautiful thing. Like,
Yeah,
I have a wife
feel him.
that I love with all my heart.
Yeah.
Now, things didn't work as planned. We still together, though. But, I made some mistakes. I've made some mistakes. I come home from work. I give me a cold brew. I like to drink. I'm not going to say I'm not an alcoholic. Then I will be lying to y'all. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat anything. And please. I come home from work.
Where people confess.
12 hours a day.
Get free.
When I at my job, 12 hours a day, I have a headache. 3 kids in the crib, my wife at home, and sometimes they get on my nerves. Don't get me wrong. I sit down, I watch TV, and I will go out my back patio and open up my beer, my favorite drink, 211. I don't play around when it comes to my drink, but at the same token, make the long story short, I know I've made some mistakes, but so has she.
Yeah.
She think about, oh, you drink, you drink. It ain't got nothing to do about me drinking. You're not telling me what's going on with you, and you're not letting me know and not understanding my feeling on why I feel the way that I do.
What were you saying?
Hey, hold on. Let me say something, bro, really quick. Hey, man, listen. First of all, I commend you, man, for you being so
Transparent.
open. Whatever you are running from, brother, I'm gonna pray for you, bro.
That's a fact.
Because it sounds like you're running, man, from something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everything that you're saying, it sounds like, man, you're running, man, from something. Whether it's singing, whether it's something there that only you know,
Yeah.
that you probably haven't shared with too many people or anyone. But man, I'm gonna pray.
Last weekend, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
shout
that's
out.
good for
Shout out
you,
to
bro.
my guy.
Man, congratulations.
Shout out to
Hey,
Rick.
hey,
Hold on, man. Hold on, bro. We got time for that,
Hold on,
dog.
let me give a shout out to Rick and Britt, she the truth. You know what I mean? Soon to be Miss Pearson. You hear me? But we didn't really
That's
get a
real.
chance to go, bro. Like we got a similar story,
Right.
right?
Okay,
I'm talking about from where you are currently. Like I've been there. You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
And what I understood at that moment is that. So we talked about power. We talked about vulnerable powerlessness.
Right.
So when you're at a state to where you say, you know what, I can no longer do this by myself.
Right.
I need some help. Sit in that seat like
Yep. Yep.
You're
you
right.
Here
understand
for a
what I'm
reason,
saying?
bro.
You're right.
And
You're
so
right.
and so
Absolutely right.
and then next year you'll be able to bless somebody with your story.
Top.
Right? That is the purpose of
Top.
of why we're here. But powerlessness, right? When I got to a point where I was in submission and I realized that I can't do this shit by myself, bro. And 211 isn't fucking helping me no
That's a
more.
fact.
It's not. So
Fact.
so you go from drinking 1 to 2 to 3 to a 6
It's
to a
not gonna
12. and I've done more damage to my family than instead of repairing it. So then the question is, we go back to, well, how do we transition from where we are to where we're trying to get? Right? And that's getting some help.
Yeah,
right? And what does help look like? I can't define that for you, but for some people, they go to either some facility or some program where they are with like-minded people that have the same struggle that can say, hey, I've been there too. Here's how I navigated through that. Right? So don't beat yourself for being where you at or where you were, man. Embrace that shit, but then don't stop there. Look at like, okay, now.
But I found, for me, when I'm the most consistent with my reading is because I'm using audiobooks.
Oh, I love audiobooks.
Audiobooks are the truth.
That's pretty good.
So, with what you're dealing with and what you're talking about, in my own experience in dealing with some of these challenges, I won't say it's the same, I won't say it's different, but just in my own experience, a book that really helped me is a book called As a Man Thinketh. So everything you're hearing me talk about when I say your thought life, I believe, this is my belief, everything that happens to you, happens through you, or happens around you, you've thought about some portion of it. Not everything, but some portion of it in some way, and it's managed and ends with me. It's not what my wife did, it's not what my kids did, it's not what somebody did on my job. It's not any of those things. It's what am I doing that's causing the outcomes that are happening for me. It's not to say that there aren't outside forces. There are definitely outside forces, but even as those outside forces happen, I choose how I respond. And that happens first in how I think about it. I'm not saying that anything that you're saying is wrong.
No, you cool.
I'm just saying that
I would say
that book really helped me in shaping how I think about it. I found it on YouTube.
No, it's partnership. It's what it is partnership. It's partnership. What the situation was, I'm not trying to express it too much, but it was partnership. It was supposed to be in partnership with me and her. But it didn't work out according to plan because she expected me to pay for everything. Yeah, I could be rich. And I don't have to be rich. And even if I was or if I wasn't, don't expect me to take care of everything. You need to pay a part in what you need to do in your own terms too. That's not fair.
Right.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for a second, because I think that it's a huge misconception on what a man is supposed to do and what a woman is supposed to do. There's always some stuff floating around on Facebook. You know, and I'll say this. Every situation, whether it be the one that you're in or the one that you're getting ready to go to, because you're here for a reason.
Speak that prophecy.
So you're getting ready to go to a situation that works for you. And I will say this. Sometimes, and Patrick touched on this earlier, all the many talents you have, running from them. You're running from them because what happens is God only gives green lights to the things that you're supposed to do. We run to things that are not for us. We keep ourselves in front of people who are not for us. And that's why it doesn't work.
The way we want it to.
You only get green lights when you go in the direction you were meant to go in.
And for me, that's why I have limited the use of me saying dream chasing, because what is chasing? I'm going after it. That means that if we're playing tag, I'm chasing you. That means you're running from me. Right?
That's interesting.
Right? So I don't dream chase anymore.
I like that.
I am following my purpose.
Absolutely.
It's a whole different thing when you go from dream chasing to, and what is a dream? How much of our dream do we really remember, right? Right? You see what society has done. You see what upbringing has done, right? Dream. We wake up and we remember maybe a smidgen of our dream. You dream all from the time you go to sleep to the time you wake up, and we remember 15 seconds. We remember 9 seconds of it. We remember, hey, I was with you and it was white. I don't remember nothing else, but that's what I remember. That's it, right? We don't remember your dream. You don't remember your dream. You remember your purpose. I'm going to remember always and forever that I'm an actor. I'm a comedian. That's what I'm going to remember. That is who I am. No matter where you're at, you could be busy as I don't know what. Who has kids in here? You could be busy as I don't know what. You've got every hand, every limb is moving. You don't forget that you're a father.
Oh, no.
You never
Right.
forget that.
You don't.
Why? Because that's your purpose. That's what I do. People are depending on me. So when we're talking about running from something, in your case, I told you this, before. I feel like you run from what you're really supposed to be doing. When you're running from something, I truly believe that it's because we have not tried it. We have not tried it. I'm going to forever
The
use
fear of
that.
trying it.
I have not gotten on stage and sung to 30, 40 people solo.
Yeah.
You did it when you were little and you were in a choir and it was 19,000 people in the choir. And you were just, another person in the choir. But when it's your time, you're...
People are afraid to have their time.
It's not that part.
You know what's interesting though?
Yeah.
You know what's really interesting? Look at all the people. How many people do you get on Facebook and you find somebody that's singing in the tunnel? And they sound
You
great.
said a tunnel. You said a tunnel.
Singing in the tunnel.
Wow.
Somewhere they
That's
got
deep
lost.
Right there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But somebody videoed it.
Yeah.
And now they're famous.
Wow.
People, we run away from our purpose. God gives everybody a talent. People who can draw are phenomenal to me.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy to me that somebody can take a pen, look at you, and draw you on a paper.
That's crazy.
That's
son.
incredible.
That's visionary.
That is
That
incredible.
Our fears
That's
are
visionary.
Features and
powerful
everything,
beyond
man.
measure.
That's
Oh,
visionary.
you and Coach Carter.
Yeah, no. They was debating.
No. You're right. But that line was in Coach Carter. What is your biggest fear?
Yes.
And he said our biggest fear. It was Timo Cruz. I never forget it. One of my favorite movies.
Man.
Timo Cruz came into the gym after being kicked off the team twice. Came in the gym and said, "Listen, man, our biggest fear is not that we're not capable of doing it. It's our biggest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure. I'm scared of what could
can
be."
do.
Or not even
Right.
scared, but we don't feel like we deserve it.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
see,
I feel like
I'm
we
scared
deserve
of,
it.
I'm scared of something random, man. It's really
agree.
random. It's random. What I fear, independency wise and all that, maintain. Any man or any person do not want to be out in the streets. But what I fear is funny. Don't laugh. It's funny. I'm scared of octopuses. They got all them, I told you don't laugh, man. Y'all gonna laugh.
You might.
It's
need to-
random, but it was a thought. Like each time, like I was on my Facebook, and I seen this big ass octopus, and it caught me off guard. Had all them arms and everything. I threw my damn phone. I had to replace it. You don't know how mad I was. Like I said,
Wow.
I really did.
Again, I'm gonna add on to what he's saying. Sometimes what you're scared of, right? You just said I'm scared of it. Sometimes what you're scared of is actually something that you're supposed
That's
to be.
good for you.
So I look at the octopus, and octopus have 8 tentacles, right? That means they got their hand in
They
everything.
have that blimp. That,
I got my hand over here. I do this. I work. I take care of my family. Over here, I can sing. Over here, I'm supposed to be doing this. Over here, I'm a blessing to somebody else.
I see
Over
where you're
here,
going.
I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah,
Over
yeah,
here, I'm supposed to be
yeah,
doing
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So,
That's
so,
pretty good,
so,
though.
so I said that to
You're
say.
scared of
pretty
yourself.
good,
So
man.
I said that to say that oftentimes what we fear the most
Right.
is what you're more so like. So if I'm just being frank, since we're talking about fears here, right? I have never been on an airplane. I don't know if I'm scared to do it, right? Because I've never done it. The thought of the airport is what freaks me out. That's what spooks me. I'm around these kabillions of people, right? That's what spooks me, right?
Bro, we gotta fly, bro.
But however, right? Again, I just told him, so I preached to myself.
No.
I'm one that realizes real. So, octopus, you're scared of. You're supposed to have your hands and everything. You got many talents. You play the instruments and everything like that.
That's probably why
I
like octopus.
tell everybody that's talked to me have heard me say, "Yo, bro, I'm about to take off." What do planes do?
Take off.
I gotta take off. In order to take off, you have to get in. I gotta get in. So I'm already in, spiritually, but I have not taken off. I need to
Right.
ascend. It is time for me to say,
Yep.
"Hey, I have got to face
Yep.
me."
Yeah.
Okay. I'm scared of octopus. But
Hold
what do
on,
I look like getting an octopus and using it as a pet and be like,
Hold on.
that's my pet right here?
Yeah, hold on. I want to hear what he had to say.
You said something earlier I wanted to touch on. You were talking about the idea that we feel like we don't deserve something.
Facts.
Something that God put on my heart a while ago was just me wrestling with that idea of deserving something.
Yeah.
And so what God asked me was, okay, what do you deserve? What do you actually deserve? And by God's law, we deserve death. Right? So anything over and above death is a blessing.
Okay.
Right.
So no, I don't deserve to have a college degree. No, I don't deserve any of that. So at some point, I have to let go of this concept of, oh, I deserve this, but I don't deserve that, or I deserve this, but I don't deserve that. I don't deserve any of it. I should have been dead a long time ago. So I have to shift away from this concept of because this is to go after. Because I don't deserve any of it. I don't deserve any of it. None of it. I don't deserve anything that happens. So what am I willing to go after? And how much of myself am I willing to put towards the work, pounding the stone?
So yes, exactly.
Pounding the
If
stone.
y'all ain't read that book, like y'all need to get that. Like so, and then I had
What's it
my
called?
son pounding the stone, and I had my son read it too, right? Because it's really, I mean, it's a good book for men, but it's in my opinion is great for teenagers.
Okay.
But and worthy, right? Is probably a better meaning of what I was trying to. There's more to that. Like somebody, like so. I just finished. I just got my MBA too, right? So I had
Congrats, man.
yeah. So like I had a
Who is this guy?
Listen, bro. I had a graduation party, and like that's when I proposed and all of that good stuff. But it was. I felt awkward.
Yeah.
I didn't even really want to be there. So my girl is planning this. My fiance was planning it.
There you go.
There
Get
you
it
go.
right.
Yeah,
Get
there
it
you
right
go.
before you get it wrong.
Yeah.
So she was planning this, and I felt so awkward. Like I stayed in the room for most of the day until people like it started at 6. I ain't come out the room till like 7. Like what is that about?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's that. So you ask, is there a connection between mental health and I forget the narrative, but it's connected.
Self-identity.
Self-identity, it's in my opinion, it's connected, right? So and it's called self-acceptance. Being okay with who you are and what you have accomplished and what you have done and what you have grown from. You know what I mean? So like we talked about running, like a lot of times we run from things that we have done or been through and not address them, and so they hold us back. And anytime that a blessing happens for us, we don't feel worthy for it. So we'll downplay it, we'll minimize it, or we'll run all the way from it.
So now bringing that all the way back real quick though, right? When you know where we came from,
Facts.
right? You know people right there with you, and it's like, why did I make it?
Yeah,
Right? I think that's a part of it, right?
Is this your phone?
Yeah. That's a part of it, right? It's that idea of I wasn't better than so and so, and I wasn't more special than such and such, and man, I'm glad that I'm here and I'm grateful that I'm here, but I still feel some type of way with you telling me how great I am.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how foul I've been.
Yeah.
And you don't know who I've sat next to and what we was plotting and planning.
My question to you guys is, whenever I do something well, right, or well enough to my satisfaction, where I could be like, anything other than saying thank you, right? Anything other than taking that small token of someone's appreciation, because what I do is I'll be in a stage play. It costs $20 per ticket. You brought your lady friend. You spent $40 a ticket. The least I can do is say thank you because you spent $40 to come see me, and now I have downplayed your gratitude toward me, right? Yeah. So in saying that, right? Do you build a negative stigma? This is a question that I have for people. Do you build a negative stigma that you've placed upon yourself where others may view you as you are too good to be here, or you're better than other people, or are you really just that humble? Are you really just that in that place? And I feel like it gets lost in between here.
So here's what I will say to that. The first part you talked about, are you giving off this air that you're like too good, or you know what I mean? I think if I sit that aside to the second, what happened between your mind and your mouth? That's what I would say before they get to you. What say, right? Because they're just telling you they're excited and they really connected. You can see what's going on for you mentally has way more to.
Nigga, I'm fucking.
Yeah. So that's harder for me to believe. Right? That's harder for me to believe. So I'm being completely transparent.
But my intent is totally different.
Get after it.
I almost did the billboard thing. I literally got with my buddies and was like, hey, bro, we're going to get this billboard. She did it. I got to do it. The girl that did it got his attention. Negative attention is still attention. Any publicity is good still publicity. Yeah. It does not matter what it is. You know why it's good publicity? If there's a shooter that's killed 15 people, it's good publicity so that I know who that nigga is. And if we see him, we out. Thank you for publicizing that this guy is a shooter. Thank you. I needed that. Right? So that's how I look at that. To Tyler Perry, he is fire. He's spicy. These are like some of my favorite words. So the reason why I say that is because he's already
moment of silence.
He's already at the top. He's at the top. Yeah. He's at the pinnacle of where you can be production wise. Right. And then he says, "I'm gonna go get some more." That's fire. I got a studio. I got one of the largest studios because when your dream is too believable, when your dream isn't big enough to other people, you should be able to tell. He's already here, and then he says, "I'm gonna do you one better. Watch this." Boom! I'm gonna come add this on top of it.
Steve Jobs,
Barack Obama. People like Jay-Z, who just it just not enough. Those are people that I want to be. Those are people that I aspire to sit in the same room with. I care nothing about what no one thinks about Donald Trump.
Listen,
I don't think he's the greatest guy on earth, but he wanted more. I'm a billionaire. I can be in any room I want to be in. Now I'm about to go be president. What? Son, like, as if it wasn't enough.
Nah, he did that.
As if
that's one thing that those people have that nobody else have. Yeah. They believe it.
Yo, he's not he's nowhere near a politician. He just said bullshit.
And they make it happen.
On television. Yo, man, these Democrats on some bullshit. He just said it live, son. So I said that to say, when you believe in you and when you believe that where you at isn't enough, and when you believe that I can do more, man, salute to, man, Tyler's doing, man. Listen, now that I know that you have another facility, I know you need more actors. At Tyler Perry, I am at Dre the Actor on Instagram. That's 2 E's like the and Bible.
Speak it, bro. Speak into
what, you hear me? Hey, listen, every picture. Hey, bro, I'm going to be there. I'm going to work here one day. Listen, okay?
You know what's crazy is that what his intent was when he got that was that, you know, this land was owned by the Confederates. The Confederates fought on the land that he purchased to keep slavery. He bought that land and turned it into something.
And now it's about to be equal opportunity.
But Tyler Perry is Illuminati.
He bought equal opportunity. He's about to have Mexican actors, Caucasian actors, black actors, Asian.
But let people tell it. He's Illuminati.
Listen, I don't care if he's Illuminati. I need him to.
I heard Dre say, "Connect me, brother."
When you're not African American or a minority and you're successful, you're successful.
Amen.
When you black,
I want to get.
So I don't know enough about what the transaction to speak intelligently about it, but what I can respect is that
Nah, but it's a picture right there.
Okay.
But what I can respect is that Tyler Perry is a man that had a vision, had a purpose, and executed it on a high level.
And the
He
only
maintained
thing
on
you
his
missed
own,
on
though,
that,
for
the
real. He
only
was
thing
great.
that you missed on that, he had a purpose, he had a vision, he had a God. That's divine, dude. I know you're not, you know, like you said, you're not, but you do believe there's a higher power, and he had that. Nothing is.
Put God. So I don't know about the transaction. I mean, I've seen some stuff.
Right.
I ain't really interested. I mean, I care, but I really don't
sure.
care. But what I do like about Tyler Perry again is that he shot for the universe and landed beyond
Come
the moon.
on, son.
You understand
He have
what
a
I'm
lot
saying?
of wisdom too.
Yeah. And then he has a heart
Yeah.
of servant leadership.
Right.
Listen,
At least from what I can tell. Like, so that's what.
most people up there really do. Most people that do, I just want to give. I give. How do I give back? You get it. Everybody knows it. You get it. Everybody, right? She gave, and because she gave to you, you get what you put out. Whatever you put out is what's gonna come back to you. She got.
Yeah, we are placed on this earth to serve others.
Facts.
For people, anybody that don't know, your life is gonna be a living hell if your purpose isn't to serve
Yo,
others.
you know what's so crazy though? Like, so that's always my position. I can't help it. It's naturally who I am.
Right. And
Yeah. You know, this is
next week. Peace out.
That's fine.
Man, that was a word of wisdom right there, though.
2 hours of content.
Bro, oh,
Never a
great
dog.
content.
It was never a part where we
Literally.
was like, oh, what to
Right.
say?
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We ain't. It's like,
Take a picture real quick.
what else we gonna talk about, man? We got that.